Today, we're jumping into one of the most critical moments in the entire Mahabharata. We're going to explore how a single, poisonous feeling in one man's heart lit the fuse for a war that would change the world forever.
This right here, this is the confession that kicks everything off. It's not some grand political declaration, it's the raw, wounded cry of Prince Duryodhana. And just listen to that language, a burning heart, a drying pool. This tells you right away that this whole conflict starts not with strategy, but with a deep, personal, and all-consuming envy.
So, where is all this coming from? Well, we find Duryodhana on his way back from this massive royal sacrifice hosted by his cousins, the Pandavas. But instead of being happy for his family, he's just miserable. He's sitting in his chariot, brooding, sighing, completely hollowed out by what he just witnessed.
And here's what's really eating at him. He had to watch his cousin, Yudhishthira, get crowned as emperor of the world. He saw kings from everywhere lining up, piling up tributes of gold, jewels, elephants, you name it. For Duryodhana, this wasn't a celebration. It was a front-row seat to a life he was convinced should have been his. And he just couldn't take it.
But this wasn't just some abstract jealousy about power. Oh no, it got personal. It was cemented by a string of incredibly public, deeply embarrassing moments inside the Pandavas' magical assembly hall, the Maya Sabha. This was a place where incredible illusions were about to turn his arrogance into pure shame.
I mean, just try to picture this place. It's described as something almost otherworldly. The air is filled with heavenly scents. Gems sparkle from literally every surface, and it's all been built by a master architect of illusion. For Duryodhana, though, every single step through this magnificent palace wasn't a wonder to see. It was just another gut punch, another painful reminder of everything he didn't have.
And then, it happens. Duryodhana is strutting through the hall trying to act all unimpressed, plenty cool. He confidently steps onto what he thinks is a polished floor, and splash, he plunges right into a crystal-clear pond. He's drenched, he's shocked, and worse, for the first time, he's totally exposed.
This was the moment everything changed. It wasn't just falling into the water, it was the sound that followed. Laughter. From the Pandava brothers, from Krishna's queens, and the final nail in the coffin, from Princess Draupadi. Her laughter especially was what turned his envy into a searing, unforgettable hatred.
So Duryodhana goes home, and his mind is just screaming for revenge. But his anger has no direction. He's in total despair. And right into this emotional chaos steps his uncle, the master manipulator, Shakuni. And Shakuni doesn't see a broken nephew. He sees the perfect opportunity.
Just listen to how far gone Duryodhana is. He's telling his uncle he would literally rather die, burn himself alive, drown, take poison, than live with this feeling of being second best. His pain is so deep that suicide feels like the only way out. He is completely lost.
Duryodhana's first instinct is just pure rage. Let's go to war, let's conquer them. But Shakuni, he's playing chess, not checkers. He knows a straight-up fight is a bad idea. The Pandavas are too strong. So he suggests a different path. Not a path of swords, but a path of deception. A way to attack their honor, not their armies.
And here it is, the wicked genius of his plan. It's so simple, it's brilliant. See, he knows Yudhishthira has a weakness. He loves to gamble, even though he's not very good at it. Shakuni, on the other hand, he's the best dice player in the world. He promises his nephew, "We can win everything, their wealth, their kingdom, all of it, without shedding a single drop of blood."
Okay, but a scheme like this, you can't just do it on your own. You need the king's approval. So they go to Duryodhana's father, the blind king Dhritarashtra. And right here, in this moment, the fate of the entire kingdom rests on his shoulders. The king is nervous. He wants to talk to his wise advisor, Vidura, but Duryodhana knows that's a bad idea for his plan, so he immediately pulls out the ultimate emotional blackmail. He threatens to kill himself again, basically making his father choose between his son's life and the wise advice he knows he should be taking. And of course, Vidura's advice is exactly what Duryodhana was afraid of. He tells the king straight up, this is a terrible idea. Gambling is the root of all conflict. He sees clear as day that this so-called friendly game is going to tear their family and the kingdom apart. So what does the king do? He knows Vidura is right. He can feel the danger. But his love for his son, his blind attachment, it's just too strong. Dhritarashtra gives his permission, and with that one word, he sets in motion a catastrophe he can no longer stop.
This whole situation, this fateful decision, it really brings up a much bigger question, one that hangs over the entire epic. How much of what happens next was a conscious choice, and how much of it was just destiny?
Right here, you see this core philosophical debate. The king basically throws his hands up and blames fate, saying, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But Vidura has this powerful comeback. He says, no, we have free will. We can't always control the consequences, but the choice to act in the first place, that is always on us.
You know, for Vidura, this isn't just a family argument. He feels like he's literally watching the dawn of a new, darker age for all of humanity, the Kali Yuga, the age of quarrel. He believes this gambling match is the tipping point, the exact moment that virtue gets pushed aside for vice.
And here's the really chilling part. There's a prophecy that's been hanging over all of this from the very beginning. The great sage Vyasadeva had already told Yudhishthira that his own success would eventually lead to a war that would wipe out nearly all the warriors in the world. So while all these characters are making their choices, it feels like they're just walking down a path that was already laid out for them.
And that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? Can we really trace the cause of the entire Kurukshetra war back to one man's envy and another man's weakness? Or were they all just playing parts in a much larger cosmic drama, with their fate sealed long before a single die was ever thrown? It's a question that makes this ancient story feel so incredibly relevant today.
So what do you think? Was it destiny or was it choice? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Mahabharata, do us a favor and hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more explainers just like this one. Thanks for watching.